CJ Flyer back with the fire, another YouTube video. So last year, the NBA introduced the in-season tournament into league play at the beginning of the regular season, and although 2K did not have it implemented into NBA 2K24 at release, at some point in the beginning of the season, 2K did make an update to the current generation of consoles, that being the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S, and did add the NBA in-season tournament into the MyNBA and other modes within the game. However, the last generation of consoles, that being the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, they never got the in-season tournament added into the game. They had to go without it for the remainder of the year. But here we are in NBA 2K25, and across all consoles, I just noticed this recently actually, it's not something I looked for initially, but upon playing both the last generation version and the current generation version of the game, I have discovered that 2K has gone ahead and added the in-season tournament into NBA 2K25 for both generations of consoles. Of course, now the in-season tournament has been renamed to the NBA Cup, but nonetheless, it is in the game for PS4 and Xbox One users. However, there are some slight differences that I'm noticing that kind of make the experience on current generation of consoles a little bit better than the last generation, and it's actually kind of surprising to me that 2K left out some of these features on the last generation of consoles because, to be quite honest, it would just be a copy-paste from the current generation of consoles. It's the features I'm going to be talking about here, it's not really like mind-blowing or anything. It's pretty cut and dry, like, you know, nothing that would require much additional storage space or graphics or what have you. So the first thing I noticed when playing an NBA Cup game on the PS4 is that the commentary does not mention the NBA Cup at all whatsoever. It just pretends it's another regular season game. Not even a single mention of, hey, this is an NBA Cup game.
But once they take the floor, they're one single unit. Welcome, everyone. Let's get ready for some NBA basketball on 2K Sports. Alongside Greg Anthony, Coach Stan Van Gundy, and our reporter, the Hall of Famer David Aldridge, I'm Kevin Harlan. And tonight, we'll be joined by the man with his finger on the pulse of the NBA, no one better than Shams Charania. Shams, it is so great to have you courtside with us.
Whereas on the PS5, there is most definitely a mention of the NBA Cup when you load up an NBA Cup game.
Welcome, everyone. A little extra excitement for you tonight. It's the first game of the NBA Cup. Alongside Grant Hill and Clark Kellogg, I'm Brian Anderson. We'll talk to Allie LaForce, who's on the sidelines as well.
Same thing for the NBA Cup final. Although it is not just another regular season game, it doesn't count towards your regular season record. It is in fact its own standalone game that is played for the NBA Cup title, so to speak. Over on the last generation of consoles here on the PS4, no mention of this being an NBA Cup final whatsoever. The announcers are just pretending like it's some random exhibition game or some other regular season game. There's absolutely no mention at all.
Welcome to the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. What a beautiful Tuesday evening it is, folks. Brian Anderson with you. Hall of Famers Doris Burke and Grant Hill joining us tonight, along with the fourth member of our team, Allie LaForce. And now, Dallas' starting group. Irving and Thompson fill out the wings.
Furthermore, at the conclusion of the NBA Cup final, over on the current generation of consoles with the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S and PC, you are going to get a bit of a cutscene with the celebration of the players holding the NBA Cup trophy, the announcers mentioning, you know, congrats to the team that won and whatnot.
What a view of the Spring Mountains surrounding beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Hello and welcome to the NBA Cup Championship. I'm Kevin Harlan, and joining me are Greg Anthony, Richard Jefferson, and David Aldridge. And they've done it! What a moment for this team to lift that NBA Cup over their heads. Pure glory.
It was a memorable journey to get to this point, a battle every step of the way. And you have to think this is a huge confidence boost for them moving forward. It proves they're ahead of the curve in terms of getting into postseason shape.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. Along with Greg Anthony, Richard Jefferson, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for watching tonight's presentation on 2K Sports.
And then over on the last generation of consoles on the PS4 here, the players just walk off the court. They don't care at all. They're just like, all right, we're done. Thank goodness. I'm glad to get back home, back to the locker room. Let's take a break, take a rest. We're done playing. We don't care about this game. Just glad it's over.
There's 6 seconds left to play in the fourth. And Doncic launches from deep, nails it.
And they knew it wasn't going to be easy to win on the road, but they've controlled the pace on this one.
And sometimes when everyone's rooting against you, it seems to bring the unit closer together. It certainly did tonight.
And so it's the Mavericks taking care of business in this one. A statement road victory. So impressive.
Statement indeed, BA. It was in enemy territory, but they controlled the game and took the crowd completely out of it. That's how you win on the road.
Well, now a minute to check in with Allie LaForce. She's courtside. Hey, Allie.
Kyrie, what does it mean for this team getting the production off the bench that we saw tonight?
Big time. You know, when you're a basketball player and you're able to make the right plays and play at a high intensity level and really come out and make an impact on the game, no matter if you're starting or coming off the bench.
So those were the main differences that I noticed between both the current generation and last generation of consoles for the NBA Cup. Nonetheless, it's cool that the last generation of consoles finally do get the NBA Cup into the game. Now, from what I've seen so far, both the current generation of consoles and the last generation of consoles have the NBA Cup courts put into the game. That does include the neutral court for the NBA Cup Championship. And then on the My NBA mode, or as it's known on the last generation of consoles, the MyLeague mode, there is a section, a little sub-menu reserved for the NBA Cup standings, for the NBA Cup bracket, and the box score for the NBA Cup final. Now, one final question remains that I do not have the answer to right now, and something that we're going to be keeping an eye on in the coming months here. The NBA has recently released, or actually I don't even think it's an official release, it was a leak of the NBA city uniforms this year for all 30 NBA teams. Now, the city uniforms have yet to be added into NBA 2K25, both for the current generation of consoles and the last generation, but we do know from last year's NBA in-season tournament that the city uniforms kind of went hand in hand with the design of the in-season tournament courts. And while I trust 2K to make an update to the current generation of consoles as far as the NBA Cup courts being updated based on what they are updated to in real life, will we see an update to the court design and the city uniforms added into the last generation of consoles when all of that becomes public information? I'm not sure, especially since 2K didn't even bother adding the NBA Cup in-season tournament last year to the PS4 and Xbox One in the middle of the season like they did with the current generation of consoles over on the PS5, Xbox Series X and S. So I'm a bit skeptical whether they're going to actually add it to the last generation of consoles or not once that update does come in, but let me know what you think in the comments down below, and click the video on the screen now for another NBA 2K25 video.